So today I'm talking about failure and also the limit, or you could say like the time limit we put on failure. And to be very clear with this, if you consider what you believe as failure, now you know me by now in the fact that I don't believe in failure. I just believe in learning and growing. But people do believe in failure. People do believe in obviously when to give up on a goal or dream. And I fully appreciate that. And I mean, we're all here to have our own perceptions, our own ideas of what we think is true in the world. I mean, that's the beauty of living life. We get to choose what we want. Not always choose it, because obviously sometimes we need some help with that. But you know what I mean? We have this freedom of what we choose to believe or not. But my belief system is there's no such thing as failure. And it goes into this subject of when to give up and also failure. So when do we give up? When do we decide that maybe that goal or dream is something which is beyond us, or we've been trying for so long that it just seems like a constant battle or effort? So the real answer is this: as long as you give it. You see, giving up is just simply a decision that you're making. Now, you can choose to decide to just give up right now in terms of your goals and your dreams. You can give up on being the confident person. You can give up. I mean, that's the choice, right? We choose to do what we want. But we have to realize that, hey, this is a choice that we're making. This is not about external circumstance. This is not about other people in our life. This is about what we're doing right here, right now. So failure, or when to give up, is only a time delay, okay? It's a distance of time that you're choosing to decide upon. But you do not have to decide to give up. You do not have to give in to that so-called failure. Now, if you consider my work, and I always like to talk about my own experience because hopefully that gives you analogies and ideas about how I work and what I do, and I like to give stories about my clients as well, which I'll do on this one. But I try to put my work out there for years, okay? I've actually been doing this for 15 years now. So I've been working with clients for 15 years. My podcast has been going out for around 5 or 6 years now. And in the very first 6 months, a year of my podcast, I had hardly anyone listening to my work. Same thing on YouTube. We've literally just hit, by the way, not literally at all, but on the day after my birthday, we hit 1 million views on YouTube. But in the beginning, it took forever. It felt like forever. And I thought, should I keep on doing podcasts? Should I keep on doing videos? Is it really worth my time and my energy to try to get my work out there onto the world? Maybe I'll just work with clients. And in fact, before then, I really struggled in business. I thought, I know how to work with clients, but how do I get business? How do I get clients into my life and actually work with them for a living? And it was such a big struggle, and I felt like giving up. In fact, one of my clients, who's amazingly successful, has got in England like a #1 music song, whatever that would be, like got #1 in the charts, was going through a crazy hard time before that, thought they'll never get anywhere. But despite being rejected by so many people about their music, being told that they sound a bit different, it's not what the people really want to listen to, all those things. And they kept on going anyway. They did not believe in the time limit. They didn't believe there was even an option to give up. And that to me is a critical difference between those who win or those who succeed and those who make things happen, is the difference between believing that there's a time limit to your success and just buying into that. Making the decision based on that time limit. You do not have to buy into any time limit. If it takes you 15 years to get your goals or your dreams, is it worth it still? Now, in my mind, it is worth it. And where it be the financial sacrifices I made to be able to make this happen, because this is a business for me, right? There's a business. I get all this equipment to be able to produce things for free out there because it's my passion. I want to invest in this stuff to help you guys. And it comes from taking action. And it's not coming from, if my work's not getting out there, I'm just going to give up. Or I'm not really making any headway in my confidence, so I'm going to give up. You see, everyone goes through that struggling pain. If it's a big enough dream and goal, then the chances are you're going to go through a journey. Otherwise, it's probably not going to be a big enough dream and goal that you're going for. There's always something happening. There's always a journey happening. People will say no to you. People will try to shut down your dreams. People will try to say you're not worthy of your dreams or you're not capable of achieving something, whatever it be, whether it be physically, whether it be emotionally, whether it be in the real world when it comes to like work, career, businesses, all those things. People will try to shut you down sometimes. First of all, we know now that it's none of our business what people think. But you might be beginning to believe in, actually, when is this going to happen? When is it time to give up? What's the time limit here? And really, giving up is just a time limit. And you can choose to give up based on a certain time, but think about it. How much time how much time has to pass, in order to say that's it? I really don't think there should be a time limit. What there should be is taking inspired action. What there should be is learning and growth. If it's important to you, you would keep on going and keep on growing. You'll keep on learning and you'll keep on doing whatever it takes, hustling away. When people are going out eating, the restaurants, when people are going out drinking, when your friends are socializing and they're asking you when you're coming out, you might have to say, sometimes I'm not going out because my dream, my goal is far bigger than that one moment of socializing or that frequent amount of socializing. Sometimes saying, look, I'm not going to go out for restaurants. I'm not going to go, I'm going to cut out some bills sometimes because I'm going to invest in myself, whether it be through time and money, because it's worth it. I'm not going to buy into the time limit. I'm not going to buy into the excuses that I've been maybe telling myself. I mean, think about it. The idea of failure is simply a judgment that we're making. We're making a judgment based on what we think we can or cannot do. So when you make that judgment, it is very subjective. Those people who do give up, and it's okay. I mean, some people might say, actually, I don't want that goal, and I appreciate that. But if you want it enough, then you'll go for it. But those who do give up are saying, look, it's not worth my effort. Now, think about that. Those who give up are saying, it's not worth my effort. The energy I'm putting out is not worth the energy I'm going to get back. Now, if you believe your goals and your dreams, your desired outcome of being, where it be being confident, letting go of anxiety, letting go of fears or phobias, achieving some kind of monetary gain, achieving something materialistic, going for that ideal vacation, creating a job which gives you passive income, creating a multi-million-dollar business, creating whatever it is for you, going for that relationship because the person who you really want is of like a kindred spirit who is like loving and kind to you, supporting for you. That is a decision we make. If it's worth it, if your goal is worth it, then there is no such thing as giving up. The only thing which gives it a reason is it's not worth our energy and it's not worth the value we put on it. The value you put on something will, if it comes into your life, is about the value you're putting out there. You have to match the value. If you're not matching the value of going for confidence, for example, then you're not going to get confident. If your desire and your drive to let go of some fear is not as big as your fear, then you're going to keep on having the fear. You need to be able to step up and do whatever it takes. You need to be able to consider your goal and think, look, this is something that I want. I'm deleting failure. What I'm going to replace failure with is learning and growing, because it's just one step I'm making. And if someone says no to me, or if the world says, look, this is not happening, or some kind of event, where it be the financial economy, where it be your job, where it be your partner, saying no, 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 keep on learning, keep on adapting, keep on growing, and keep on taking inspired action. The difference between winning, succeeding, and achieving your goal is so small in difference compared to those who don't go for it. It's so small. It's such a fine line, but that fine line is still very profound. And that is that you are not taking failure as a reality. You're not taking your reasons and your excuses as to why you are like you are. And it sounds kind of harsh, but trust me, I'm coming from hopefully hopefully you get it, but I'm coming from the most empowered thing, because this is what empowerment is. This is what empowerment is, because it's raising us above our challenges. We're saying, look, I'm not going to give in to those old excuses or those old reasons that I had. I might have gone through the most horrible, traumatic things in my past. I might have gone through that, but I'm going to refuse to allow those people or those events or those situations to allow them to create me as a person. I'm not going to be defined by failure. I'm not going to be defined by my past. What I'm going to be defined by is my learning and my growth. My growth should be my highest priority. My ability to learn in any moment should be my highest priority. My highest priority should be going on the inside of who I am, regardless of the external world. People, things, situations, events, whatever it is. Our highest priority should really be ourselves, going on the inside world of ourselves and connecting with our inner power. Inner power does not come from the external world. Inner power does not come from your spouse who says you can or cannot do something. Inner power, I mean, that's great that if they do support you, but that's not where your inner power comes from. Inner power does not even come from me. Inner power does not come from the external events around you. Inner power obviously comes from you. It comes from inside of you, and you have to give life to that. That is why we find our why. We've got to make sure that the value we're putting on our goal is worth more than anything else. That we're going, look, it might be hard, and that's okay. It might be a hard thing. It's okay. People will go through probably harder things. People will be going through harder things right now, and in the past, over history, have gone through harder things, yet they kept on going because it was worth it. So consider failure is it worth it or if it's not? If it's not worth it, then we give in to that perception or perspective of, I'm going to give up on this. But if you consider that there's something far more powerful within you, if you begin to go on the inside and reflect on what is awesome about you, when you begin to connect with your unconscious mind, when you begin to consider your most amazing qualities, when you begin to consider all what is good in the world, when you begin to reflect on all those people who have made changes, who have made breakthroughs, if you begin to reflect on those people, if you begin to model them, you begin to research how they think, what they did, what the strategies they began to do, you need to model those people. You need to look for the external people who have made these things, or have achieved those things, because that is where the solution is. Those people who have made a difference have done it and overcome so much. We have to go on the inside of ourselves and bring that out inside. We got to be able to tap into our unlimited resources on the inside. It's all within us. You're special, you're amazing. I will keep on saying that forever and ever and ever, but you have to also begin to realize that this dream of yours, this goal of yours, whether it be, like I said, monetary, whether it be spiritually, whatever it is, you have to tap into that power. You got to tap into the value. You got to tap into the reason as to why it's important. If you tap into that, then failure cannot exist. Giving up cannot exist, because that fuel of why it's so important to you is going to be far stronger than what anyone says, whatever situation, no matter how many times you get the rejections or the no's. You keep on going for it because it's important to you. People have told me in the past, as I said, that I cannot do certain things. But I don't care what those people say. What I do care about is how valuable it is to me as a person. And that's what I want you to do. Don't measure yourself based on what people say. Don't measure your goals or dreams on compared to what other people think of your dreams. Compare it to the value that you put on it. That means failure, the worries and doubts will begin to disappear, because you're focusing on what is right, what is true for you. You're beginning to get your unconscious mind on your side. But you have to declare it. You got to do this with conviction. You can't play small. It's your dream, it's your life, so don't play small. Begin to play big. Begin to take that investment in yourself through time and dedicate time to yourself, to your education, to your learning. More people will put more time on socializing or on Facebook or doing things which do not ultimately give them the true happiness. But if the goal and the dream is big enough, then you should be putting more time into those things which will give you that foundation, which will give you that pillar of strength that we need to be able to make that goal. So to sum it up, ultimately, failure, fear cannot exist. It only exists if you put a time limit on fear, on failure or on giving up. That's all it is. It's a time limit. Now, you can choose to not put a time limit on it. But that's when we decide to fail, is when we say that that's it, I can't do anymore. But if you choose not to go for the time limits, if you choose to tap into the value that is so much more valuable to you than giving up, then you will always win. It might be next week, it might be next year, it might be in a decade. It does not matter, but it's worth it. It's worth sometimes a struggle. It doesn't always have to be easy. It can be hard, but do you know what? The rewards you get from it, the spiritual connection you get from it, the empowerment you get from it, the connection with yourself and the world around you that you get from your goal is so much more worth than a lifetime of regret. So this pain that you might be going through as you're going toward your goal, the stress that you might be going through toward your goal, the worries and doubts that you might be going through, all the rejections, all the no's, the world saying no, 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 no to you, that might be happening. But it's far worth going for your goal, making it happen, than that lifetime of regret. We have so much within us, and we have time ahead of us. People think we haven't got much time right now, but you know what? Right now is the most perfect opportunity in every way, whether it be technology-wise, whether there's free information out there, knowing more about the mind and body. We have so much information around us, but you have to adapt that into yourself. You've got to really declare to yourself that this is what I'm going to do. This is the one thing that I'm going to put my attention onto. For the next week, for the next month, for the next year, I'm going to hustle away while other people are going out to socialize, while other people are doing things which aren't focused as to where you want to go. I'm going to be putting my mind into where it needs to go. I'm going to get my mind in the right place. I'm going to cultivate my thoughts, my feelings in such a way that it will allow them to work on my behalf. See, the brain is our biggest tool that we can have. We can begin to educate it. We can cultivate our thoughts and our feelings and everything around it. We can begin to adjust it in terms of what we want, but we have to declare it to ourselves. We've got to say, look, this is my life. I'm going to do whatever it takes. Yes, there'll be struggles, but I'm going to do whatever it takes. It might be painful, but that is where growth happens. It might be really hard, but that is where the growth happens. Usually when you go through your challenging times toward your goal, that is where you're getting the strategy to win. I'll say it again. So when you're going through your struggles toward your goal, that is where you're actually getting the strategy to win. Because you're cultivating, you're adjusting, and you're getting the struggles to be your teachers. You see, the struggle that you're going through right now can be your biggest mentor. It can be your biggest teacher in the world. So we have to see those challenges as times where we can ask ourselves, what do I need to learn from this? The once learned will allow me to go beyond this, will allow me to grow because of this. It might be stressful, but I'm learning. And you declare that to yourself. And you begin to tap into the reason and the value as to why you're going for your goal. That is where we're heading. That's where we've got to get our mind to. That is when I think about my goals and dreams, I've achieved many of them, but there's so much more for me to achieve personally. There's so much more that I want to do, and I'm still going through struggles, whether it be learning about business. I mean, I've started my own business, doing all this stuff pretty much all by myself. Obviously, I get help along the way with family and everything like that, but it's one of those things that I've had to instigate on my own behalf. I've had to do this for sometimes way too long, lots of hours of a day, lots of times of just going and learning and learning and learning. But that is my craft. That is what I'm putting my attention to. That is what we have to be doing. If you have a goal, you've got to dedicate your time to your goal. And you've got to be very honest with yourself. Are you dedicating your goal? Are you dedicating your time and energy into things which is not your goal? That's what we're going to ask ourselves. If you are dedicating so much time and you're learning and growing towards your dreams and goal, where it be just 10 minutes a day, that's going to make a big change. But if you're investing maybe half hour a day, then you're going to really start to get that commitment. If you get more individual or group coaching where you're surrounding yourself, then you're going to get your goal far quicker than ever. You have to dedicate that time to yourself. You've got to declare it. You've got to make things happen. That is where the magic really happens, guys. You've got to realize that failure, or when the time to give up, is literally just a time we put on it. If you do not put a time limit on failure, then you can always succeed. If you begin to realize the value behind your goals and your dreams, then you will no longer even consider it as failure because you know that you always win in the end. It's far better than a lifetime of regret. So I hope you enjoyed this, guys. I really appreciate you in every way. And I'm going to try and do a lot more of these next week when I'm back from my trip. But always know that you are worthy and you're capable and you have all the resources inside of you to do what you need to do. But it has to come from you, guys. It's got to come from you. You've got to be the instigator of change. You've got to be the one who carries it out, taking the action to make things happen. So as always, just live life to its full and take massive inspired action. So I look forward to speaking to you guys soon. Many thanks and goodbye.